Have you ever stopped to think that what you do in the first hour after waking up could determine whether you'll live to 90 or beyond? It may sound like an exaggeration, but it's not. Most people don't realize that they might be sabotaging their own longevity every single morning, even before breakfast is over. In this video, I'm going to show you 7 morning habits that are common among people who live healthy and active lives well into their 90s and beyond. And the most surprising part, habit number 4 only takes 30 seconds, and it could still add years to your life. These are not just feel-good routines. The science behind them is strong, even though you rarely hear doctors talk about this. Let me tell you about a man I met right here in Singapore. When he was 65, many of his friends were already struggling with heart issues, memory loss, or needing walking aids. But today at 93, he still lives independently, takes the MRT alone, and volunteers at a community garden in Bukit Batok 3 times a week. So what's his secret? It's not genetics. Most of his relatives didn't live past 75. What made the difference were 7 simple habits he adopted after attending a health talk at the community center when he turned 65. Over time, while others were growing weaker, he became more energetic. One day I asked him, what really made the difference? He didn't even hesitate. It was my morning routine. What I do in the first hour of my day saved my life. And that's what I want to share with you today. Are you ready to learn the morning habits that can transform your health after 60? Let's go. Habit number 1. Drink water first thing in the morning. Do you know what's happening inside your body? If you haven't had any water yet today, your blood might be thicker than it should be, and that puts dangerous stress on your heart and your brain. People who live long lives in Singapore and around the world don't reach for their phone or turn on the TV or make coffee first. They reach for water. And the timing matters. Research from Harvard and other top institutions shows that overnight, dehydration can accelerate aging by up to 31%. Dr. Jessica Rothman, a kidney health expert, explains that during sleep, the body gradually loses water, leading to what she calls morning blood sedimentation. This forces the heart to work harder and damages small vessels in the brain and kidneys. Over time, this adds up, silently aging the body. Let me give you an example. A 72-year-old woman from Tampines Community Center was struggling with fatigue, forgetfulness, and declining kidney function. Her doctors were even considering starting dialysis in the future. Then she made one small change. She began drinking 1 full glass of water immediately after waking up, before even getting out of bed. Just 2 months later, her kidney function had improved. Her doctor was surprised by her blood test results and asked what medication she had started. She smiled and said, "No medication. I just started drinking water every morning. So what can you do? Tonight, leave a glass of water by your bedside. Tomorrow morning, drink the whole glass before getting up. No coffee or tea yet, just plain water. Room temperature is best, as cold water can be a shock to your system first thing. Make this a non-negotiable part of your morning, just like brushing your teeth. Your organs are thirsty after hours of sleep. Don't keep them waiting. Are you willing to try this? This tiny act could improve your kidney health, blood flow, and even your energy levels. People who live longer don't see this as optional. They see it as essential. And what about you? Do you already have this habit? If not, why not start tomorrow? Morning? It could be the first step toward a healthier, longer life. Habit number 2. Get natural light exposure in the morning. You might be messing up your body's internal clock every single day without even realizing it. If you're not getting natural light within the first 30 minutes after waking up, you're missing out on one of the most powerful triggers for a long and healthy life. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that early morning sunlight, even for just a few minutes, can increase your evening melatonin production by up to 73%. And why does that matter? Because this one simple habit affects everything, from your sleep quality to your metabolism, your mood, and even your memory. Dr. Andre Peterson, an expert in circadian health and aging, explains that morning sunlight activates key hormones that your body needs to function properly for the rest of the day. Skipping this light exposure is linked to a 37% higher risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases after age 70. Let me share a real example. Mr. Lim, a 75-year-old retiree living in Bedok, had been struggling with insomnia for decades. He had tried everything: prescription medications, expensive supplements. Nothing worked long-term. Then his doctor made one simple suggestion: spend 10 minutes outdoors as soon as you wake up, rain or shine. Just 2 weeks later, Mr. Lim was sleeping better than he had in years, and it didn't stop there. My blood pressure dropped by 15 points, and that constant afternoon tiredness disappeared, all because I started eating my breakfast outside on the balcony, instead of sitting in the dim living room. What about you? Starting tomorrow, make it your mission to get natural light within 30 minutes of waking. Even on cloudy days, the light outside is 50 to 100 times stronger than the lighting indoors, and it carries exactly the wavelengths your brain needs to regulate your hormones, sleep, and energy. If it's hard for you to go outside, sitting by an open window can already help a lot, and on rainy days or during monsoon season, you might consider a light therapy lamp, as many experts recommend. But remember, natural light is always best. This isn't just about better sleep. It's about resetting your entire biological clock and slowing aging at a cellular level. Your body is literally waiting for this signal every morning. Are you ready to give yourself this gift starting tomorrow? Number 3, gentle movement before breakfast. What you do before your first bite of breakfast could shape how your joints will feel when you're 80. Many older adults make the mistake of staying completely still in the morning, waiting for breakfast, to wake up. But this early morning inactivity can quietly speed up inflammation and joint deterioration. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic found that light movement right after waking can reduce joint degeneration by up to 65% in older individuals. Dr. Lisa Monroe, a specialist in geriatric medicine, explains that gentle movement first thing in the morning triggers a process called autophagy, like a cellular cleanup crew, which helps keep joints healthy and inflammation under control. And the results can be life-changing. Take Madame Noraini, a 68-year-old retiree from the East Coast. She had already scheduled knee surgery after years of living with painful arthritis. As a last resort, her physiotherapist suggested a very simple habit: just 7 minutes of gentle movement each morning before breakfast. 3 months later, her pain had reduced so much that her doctor decided to cancel the surgery. I thought my active days were over, but now I can play with my grandkids again, Madame Noraini said with a smile. And it all started with just a few minutes of movement every morning. So what can you do tomorrow morning, right after you drink your water and before your tea or coffee? Set aside just 5 to 10 minutes for some light movement. No need for strenuous exercise. The idea is to gently awaken your body. Try slow, circular movements with your ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, and wrists. Sway your body softly from side to side. If you're able, try touching your toes, or simply lean forward as far as you can. The key is to keep the movement gentle and consistent, as if you're greeting each part of your body. You know that stiffness you feel when getting out of bed? That's your body asking for attention. This is the perfect moment to activate longevity processes that won't happen if you stay still. Are you willing to protect your joints with just a few minutes a day? Imagine moving freely and with ease. At 85 or even 90 years old, that's not luck, that's the power of habit. Let's try this together tomorrow morning. Just a few minutes, but they might change your future. Number 4, the 3-2 breathing practice. Did you know that a simple 30-second habit could boost your longevity and completely change how your body handles stress? And here's the surprising part: most elderly people who live past 90 practice something like this, even if they don't call it by name. Unfortunately, most people overlook this tiny but powerful ritual. But what if I told you that the way you breathe in the morning could shape your energy, your mood, and even how long you live? Researchers studying the famous blue zones, regions where people frequently live past 100 in good health, found that many centenarians follow specific breathing patterns upon waking. This reduces cellular stress by up to 48%. Dr. Michael Cohen, a longevity expert in Sardinia, Italy, explains, when we engage in intentional breathing first thing in the morning, we activate the vagus nerve. That sends a message to the body: you are safe. And a body that Feel Safe chooses to thrive, not just survive. In the mountain villages of Sardinia, it's common to see 90-year-old men and women pausing to take slow, deep breaths before starting their day. A 96-year-old shepherd once told a researcher, "I breathe in the morning to prepare my body for a good day. If I skip it, I feel drained by lunchtime, and you can start this tomorrow, right from your own home. Here's how to do the 3-2 breath, also known as the 4-7-8 technique, right after drinking your morning water, and if possible, while getting some natural light. Breathe in gently through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds, making a soft shh sound. Repeat this cycle 3 to 4 times. That's it, just 30 seconds. Too simple to work? Science shows that this practice lowers blood pressure, reduces inflammation, and calms stress hormones. Are you willing to invest just half a minute in your health tomorrow morning? It might be the best return on time you've ever had. And here's something even more eye-opening. Most of us use less than 30% of our lungs' full capacity, but that can change, and it starts with one conscious breath after waking up. Will you give this life-changing breathing practice a try tomorrow? Number 5. A protein and fiber-rich breakfast. Could something as ordinary as your breakfast, something you do every single day, be quietly sabotaging your health and your chances of reaching 90 with energy and clarity? Unfortunately, the answer might be yes. Nutritional gerontologists have found that your first meal of the day has a deep impact on inflammation, insulin sensitivity, and your body's ability to repair itself over the years. Dr. Valerie Richardson, a senior researcher at the Longevity Nutrition Institute, explains, the right breakfast can lower inflammation markers by up to 53% and switch on cellular repair instead of damage. And it all starts with 2 essential pillars: high-quality protein and natural fiber. This was the turning point for Gerald, a 68-year-old retired teacher. Although he had a normal weight, he was diagnosed with pre-diabetes and high inflammation. His doctor warned if nothing changed, he'd likely develop type 2 diabetes within 2 years. So Gerald made a simple decision. He changed only his breakfast. He swapped white bread and black coffee for a new morning plate, boiled eggs, oatmeal with berries, and a sprinkle of chia seeds. 6 months later, all his lab results came back normal. It was just breakfast, Gerald said. My doctor couldn't believe that one meal could make that much of a difference. Here's the longevity breakfast formula. 1 source of high-quality protein, eggs, plain Greek yogurt, or plant-based protein, 1 or more sources of fiber, oats, chia seeds, ground flax, berries, or lightly cooked vegetables, a touch of healthy fat, avocado, walnuts, or a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. And here's a crucial warning: avoid refined carbs, white bread, sugary biscuits, or pastries before 10 a.m. They cause insulin spikes that speed up aging. You're already having breakfast. It's not about finding more time. It's about choosing what goes on your plate. Will you keep eating the same old breakfast, even if it's quietly aging your cells? Or will you try something small that could make a massive difference? Tomorrow morning, look at your plate as if you're choosing how you'll feel in 10 or even 20 years, because the difference might start showing in just a few days. Number 6. Morning social connection. Did you know that loneliness can harm your body as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day? It's true. Social isolation damages the heart, weakens the immune system, affects brain health, and even disrupts your sleep quality. But here's something even more surprising. The time of day you connect with others makes a big difference. Researchers at Harvard followed hundreds of people for over 80 years. What they discovered could completely change the way you start your day. Dr. Robert Miller, who led the most recent phase of the study, explained, participants who had some form of meaningful social contact before 10 a.m. had a 29% lower risk of death from all causes. In other words, a genuine good morning could quietly be adding years to your life. And this isn't just true in the West. In Okinawa, Japan, one of the regions with the highest number of centenarians, researcher Nancy Jordan observed a touching daily habit. Neighbors would exchange a few kind words each morning, even just for 5 minutes, before beginning their day. One 97-year-old woman explained it beautifully. If I don't speak to someone in the morning, the day doesn't feel right. We've looked after each other like this for decades. Medical tests confirmed that these individuals had inflammation markers comparable to those of people decades younger. So how can you apply this starting tomorrow? Here are 3 simple ways to bring morning connection into your routine. Call someone you care about early in the day. It could be your son, granddaughter, a friend, even a kind neighbor. Just 3 minutes of genuine conversation makes a difference. If you live with someone, turn breakfast into a moment of real connection. Don't just pass each other like strangers. A simple "how did you sleep" can set a whole different tone. If you live alone, consider starting a weekly morning ritual with a neighbor or friend. A walk around the block, a short video call, or a quiet breakfast together. Anything that creates shared time. And if none of these options are possible tomorrow, even exchanging a sincere good morning with the bakery cashier, the bus driver, or the lady at the pharmacy can activate some of the same protective effects. The key is to make human connection a non-negotiable part of your morning. Just like brushing your teeth. Are you willing to try that? Because your body is waiting for that quiet, powerful signal of safety and belonging, a spark that awakens the pathways to longevity in the most natural way possible. Number 7. Gratitude practice. You've probably heard that being grateful is good for you, right? But what you might not know is that there's a specific way to practice gratitude that can literally transform your brain, reduce stress, and improve your heart health, especially if you do it first thing in the morning. Neuroscientists at Yale University discovered that this morning gratitude practice reduces cortisol levels by up to 23%. Dr. Sarah Jenkins, a neuroplasticity specialist for the elderly, explains, when gratitude is directed at the body first thing in the morning, we see real changes in brain activity. Areas related to decision-making and emotional regulation work like those of much younger people. Take the case of Patricia, who is 74. She struggled with high blood pressure that didn't respond to medication, which worried her cardiologist. Upon discovering this practice, she decided to try it. Every morning, before even eating, she spent 2 minutes thanking her body. 3 months later, her blood pressure had stabilized, and the variability in her heart rate, a powerful indicator of cardiovascular health, improved by 31%. My doctor asked what new medication I had started. Patricia shared. When I told him it was just gratitude, he didn't believe it, until he saw the results in my tests. Here's the 2-minute practice that transformed Patricia's health, and it can transform yours too. Right after waking up, take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart. Name 3 parts of your body that you're grateful for, explaining why. For example, I'm grateful for my eyes, which allow me to see the faces of those I love. I'm grateful for my legs, which still carry me firmly. I'm grateful for my heart, which has been beating for me all these years without fail. The key here is specificity and intention. Thank your body for its functions, not just external situations. This is not generic self-help, it's applied neuroscience. This practice reduces inflammation, boosts your immune system, and strengthens your body for the challenges ahead. And the best part, it costs nothing, requires no equipment, and can be done right in your bed tomorrow morning. Have you thanked your body today for all it does for you, or have you only focused on what you think is failing? Your perspective changes your biology. What you choose to think upon waking up determines the course of your health. Now that you know these 7 morning habits that can transform your health after 60, the choice is in your hands. You don't have to implement them all at once. Start with 1, 2, 3 if you can. The important thing is to begin tomorrow morning, not next Monday or next month. Remember Walter, whom we mentioned at the start. He started with just 2 simple habits, and over time he felt such a difference in his body and mind that he decided to add more. Now at 91 years old, he has more energy than many young people. Your morning routine can either be a silent poison or a true elixir of youth. It prepares your body and your brain to age with health, energy, and purpose. Which habit will you choose tomorrow? Your future self is already counting on this decision. If this content helped you in any way, click the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our videos. And let me know in the comments, which of these habits are you already practicing, and which one will you start? Share this video with someone you love. It could be the gift that adds years and quality to their life. See you in the next video, Elder Longevity, for a longer, stronger life.